Good afternoon, good evening, good morning. Get your man always George Page, aka the Emperor of Female Body Talk, coming to you live on YouTube. Well, folks, September is about over. Can you believe it? September is just about over. It seems like I don't know what is it. This is just, this is the 9th month. We have 3 more months left of 2024. It's crazy. It seems like we just started this year, and we're just halfway through it. So, folks, as you know, I always want to bring a subject that is really dear to my heart, and that is the female bodybuilding division. I've been a fan of the division for a long time. I met some lovely ladies who compete in the division. I have got a chance to interview some amazing women who compete in that division. And as a fan of this division, I feel like it's still getting pushed back against promoters, sponsors, everything. And especially, as you know, this year we only had I think 13 pro qualifiers for women's bodybuilding. We had at least 4 out of the country, and at least the rest are here in the States. And I just feel that what's going on with these promoters? We're seeing now more and more women are going up to the division. Just saw recently, I did an interview with Rama Scottson, and she's talking about moving up after she does one more physique show. There's talk of I think Melissa Tyke supposed to be returning because she competed last year in women's bodybuilding. Also, there's stuff that might be some talk that Amy Sherbert might be moving up too. There's some ladies that might be taking the time off and grow and develop and make the decision to switch over to women's bodybuilding. So we're gonna have a discussion about what promoters need to do, what need to say to really add more shows, get the opportunity to these ladies. Because right now the Titans show was the last qualifier for this year's Olympia. There are at least 2 shows this weekend, the Olympic qualifications for 2025, and none of them have women's bodybuilding. And there's at least 2 more after that, after the Olympia, for qualification. And there's just only one for women's bodybuilding for next year. That is the Remaining Muscle Fest, that's promoted by Alita Popa. So we're gonna have some people come in here. We're gonna have a discussion. We talk about here. We shot here from my man, aka Mr. Formerly Art of Female Muscle, aka my man Jeremy, and also goes by Femme Physique Fan. So welcome, Jeremy. Okay, if you're coming through.
Hey, how's it going?
Also, we have another person, my Ace Boon Coon, my right hand man, my big brother, Mr. Big Keith Williams, aka Super Steve, aka the Black Incredible Hulk, aka the man who has hand on my girl. I don't know why. I love him. He's my brother, but he has hand on my girl. You see that picture? You know I get jealous, but you know what? I'm chilling.
Right, sure you're chill.
I'm chilling. Okay, and you know my big brother was at the Titan Grand Prix weekend with his lovely wife, who did pretty well for herself. She took 4th place. And, I think, truthfully, that is the best showing if she's been pro. She's done pretty good, but this one...
No, it's not.
It's just mine. Okay? Let's hear from Big Brother. And
it's not the best. It's not her best showing. No, it wasn't her best showing. I mean, she's been, what, 3rd? 3rd in New York Pro.
Yeah, 3rd. Yeah.
It's the best package.
It's the best package she's brought.
That's right. Best package she brought. I'm correct. Thank you for correcting me.
Yeah, it was a interesting show, to say the least. I don't understand. I know I have a biased opinion, but I don't understand the placing. I had it clearly between her and Hunter. And Hunter even came up to Tina and said the only person she was worried about was Tina.
Wow.
And it was one of those things where my problem is when you have a promoter promoting a show who has clients in the show. And that's a problem. Because no offense to Ava, whatever her name is, and I don't even know who number 31 was from, I think she's from Canada. I don't know her name.
That's Ava.
Ava, and then
Dunbar.
And 31, I don't know where I think she's from California.
Oh, that's Gabriela Pena, Vega. She's from Mexico, but she moved to California a while back. She competed at the Triple O Dynasty early this year, and she got second to Teresa.
But I think she won Masters.
She won Masters over 40, and then she did the Toronto. I think she was top 5 of that show.
Yeah, it's one of those things where, everybody in the audience let them know and I did appreciate that it was bullshit, because when you go back and look at the pictures, and they had Hunter and Tina next to each other most of the whole time in the show. Clearly, it was the best package Tina's brought to date. Thank God, Melanie is back with her, coaching her. But it's one of those things where she was happy. I mean, I can't remember the lady who's a photographer for a long time. She came up to Melanie and Tina. She's been around forever. I guess she used to be a bodybuilder. I can't remember her name. As Melanie, but she says best. Everybody says the best Tina's ever looked. And what I tell people is that at the end of the day, it comes down to coaching, and that's what it boils down to. Having a good coach that knows your body, because after we left Melanie, because Melanie had health issues, and Melanie almost died during the last World Championships that Tina actually was supposed to compete in. And so, like I told Melanie, it wasn't nothing personal. It's one of those things where we're not selfish people, and she needs to get healthy before she can do anything else. I mean, she almost died. She actually did die, and then came back to life. So it was one of those things where we had to find another coach, and we jumped on board with Alina for 2 years. Clearly, that didn't work out. Then we went to John. Clearly, that didn't work out. And then we went back to Melanie. I went groveling back to Melanie because she started getting healthy again, and clearly she knows what she's doing, because even Tamer, the head judge and the promoter of this show, for one, it was 19 girls. It was the biggest bodybuilding show with the most girls in it, and so they're actually already said they're doing it next year, which is great. But it's one of those things where it was just very interesting how everything played out in the show, because it was a battle between Hunter and Tina the whole entire time. And this Ava girl, she has great shapes, but she wasn't in shape. I'm a judge. I'm a competitor competing this fucking weekend. She wasn't in shape. I can say that. I would tell her that. She wasn't in shape. If you look at the pictures, she was not in shape. The other girl, number 31, she, I guess it's Tamer's girl, I guess, or whatever, and so it's one of those things where, again, I thought it was going to be a close race between, and Hunter even came up to Tina. They hugged. I got pictures of them. She's like, I was worried about you. Hunter's boyfriend was like, fuck. Clearly, she was the best conditioned girl, but, they want her to put some more size on her legs. And so we go back to the drawing board for next year, now that we got Melanie back in her corner, and see what happens. But it was a great show. It was jam-packed. It was awesome. It was a great show, good venue. The turnout with people there was unbelievable. And so, I'm glad they made it a last chance qualifier for these girls. Actually, it was last chance qualifier for classic physique, women's fitness, and women's bodybuilding. So everybody that was in those 3 classes qualified for the Olympia this year. So it was great. And Tamer said that, Jake said that they didn't have enough girls. So they made it a qualifier. And Tamer actually is a production guy who runs the Olympia. So, and I know he was not going to be at the Legions this weekend because he's headed back to Brazil, because he has more shows than anybody in the country. Now I think next year they're going to have one in South Africa and then Thailand. So, the muscle contest is going all over the place. So, yeah, it was a great show, though.
Yeah, because I know, I hope they do add women's bodybuilding to that one in South Africa, because Tiana Fleck, she's there, and that'd be great. I don't know if any competitors want to go all that way to compete in the show, but as a lot of European competitors, I think South Africa might be a little closer for them than coming out of the States, and probably easy to get there, But, from, like I said, from the pictures I saw, Tina looked really good. This is one right here, the bicep flex. She looked great. I mean, the picture's already out. I sent it to her. Here, she looked great ab and thigh pose. You really see the conditioning, especially for a woman who had children. She had her abs really.
She was 4 inches taller than everybody.
Yeah, she was a giant. She's a giant. And then here, really great side chest. Really better conditioning in the quads, also around about the delts. I think they probably feel like they might need a little more pop, but I'm not a judge. I'm a fan. And this one here is my favorite, Keith.
Yeah.
I gotta.
Hey,
wow.
that's being blown up going in my house.
Well, something else is blowing up, but I'm not going to say because Tina's there. I mean, you know I'm a muscle person, boy. I know my crime. She looked amazing. I think I give a shout out to Hunter. I mean, she looked really good. I mean, you know, she her conditioning was just pretty, really amazing. I mean, I think she really made improvement from when she did Chicago. This is from the muscle contest. They had posted here. This is the picture, and right here you have, this is a little. This is they. I hope they have do. I hope they do have next year. Wait, it's in. Yeah, right here. Now we have top five here. We have Tina. We got Eva Dunbar. We have also the winner, Hunter Henderson. Congratulations to her. Also, there's Gabriela Pena de la Vega, and also Marilyn Yee. Now, all of these ladies I've interviews with. These top three, the ladies in this lineup I've done interviews with. And I want to give them a shout out. This was a great opportunity for this, and this is proud of me as a person who interviewed y'all, how well y'all did. And here we have here a little behind the scenes. Oh, yeah, y'all, they had y'all. Wow, was that sweet potato pie? Is that no pumpkin pie?
Pumpkin pie.
Pumpkin pie. Yeah. I forgot. No. I never ever. I've tasted pumpkin pie, but I never ever eat it. But it's funny they had the guy in the cover. Wait a minute. Or they have I think they have tuna on the cover there. But it looked like there's a nice layout. I mean, pumpkin pie, chocolate pie. I mean, it looked pretty good. What was that like for y'all? Y'all enjoyed yourself? Because y'all said it was a great show. A lot of people,
jam packed. They actually oversold the VIP, so it was one of those things where it was like standing room only. And it's at the Hilton right across from Disneyland. So, these are the kind of shows they need to have. And here's the thing: it's a focal point when you sit there and say there were 19 girls in the show. The most and think about it, George. The most girls. How many girls? That's the most girls competed in one show this year. 19.
Yeah. Because I think at least you count. There were at one point.
And I think it probably would have been more girls if they would have knew that this was a last chance qualifier. So at the last minute they dropped this. So. I think it would have probably been even a few more girls. I think only one girl didn't show up to the night show, and that was the Childress. She didn't show up to the night show. Which is not good because she had posted on her story with the shirt "Road to Olympia" and all this shit, and then doesn't show up for the night show. I mean, she wasn't in the top 5 anyway, but she just didn't show up. So we had a conversation with her coach and things like that. But it was a great show. It was a good show. And I'm excited that they're going to do it next year, for these girls.
Well, yeah, I think, women's bodybuilding do need more shows, especially out in the West, out in California, where bodybuilding really have its roots. I was hoping they would have the show next year because most definitely, there's like people like Lori who lives out there. A couple other competitors right now who live closer to the West, like in Texas and Arizona. That'd be a great show for them. I hope that it will still be for next year's qualification. And that's why a lot of ladies jumped on the show. Like one person we talked about, we should have jumped on the show instead of going all the way to Europe, is Rashawn Boswell.
And of course it's going to be an Olympia qualifier because the guy who runs Olympia, who is Jake Woods, because Tamer announced that. Jake Woods said there wasn't enough girls, he felt, in women's bodybuilding, so that they were going to make this a qualifier. Well, when you got the guy who owns Olympia and you got the guy who produces Olympia for him and collaborates the thing, of course it's going to be an Olympia qualifier. So, that's always a good thing.
Yeah, it's good. And like I said, all the ladies look lovely. I mean, it's great to see Tina on the stage up there. Janine's up there. Jean looked really good. I mean, they could make it also as you know, you're competing this weekend at the Legion
Lori
Sports
was
Fest.
there.
Yeah, Lori, everybody looked amazing. You're competing at the Legion Sports Fest coming up this weekend. Wouldn't this be a great show
Yep.
for Masters qualification for the Olympia?
Yeah, I'm competing in Open first and then Masters second, so I compete Saturday and then I compete Sunday.
Yeah. Yeah, but like I said, it was I wish I wanted to watch the live stream, but I don't know what the hell was going on. I mean, they're telling me that I need $1 to pay a fee, and then and this and that. My account is telling me that insufficient funds. We could take your card. I looked at my account. And said, I still got money in my account. What's the hell going on? I mean, because he was sitting the live stream link the night before, and I pasted it on my social media platforms. Yeah, but is anybody talk to you or say anything to you about the live stream? If
Like everybody, like at our bar, was on their phone watching it. They loved it. Everybody had their phone out and watching it on their phone. They loved it. I mean, I thought it was really cool how they did that. So everybody can watch it. Wasn't so everybody watched it and they said they had a good time. Kansas kind of Facebooked it live. So it was like I said, it was a good production. It was a good production what they did for these athletes. And then what they did, which was really cool, is like at 11 o'clock, no matter what, because the amateurs started at 11 o'clock, they stopped the amateur show no matter what, and the pros went on time, on cue. 3 o'clock, the pros went back on. So we were out of the building by 6:30, 6 o'clock. It was great. So I mean, the turnaround time wasn't very long, but but again, at the end of the day, you want a show like that was smooth and they prioritized, like they had a special room just for the pros. So like they had a room just like for treats and snacks and everything just for the pros. The amateurs had a completely separate area. So if you're a pro, you're in one room. If you're an amateur, you're in a completely different room. So it was they treat them really nice.
that's pretty good. I mean, you're supposed to be because you're the pros are the top levels of your sport. And the amateurs, they need their own place. I mean, maybe you'll be surprised that some amateurs sneak in and say, "Hey, they're having pumpkin pie over there. We sneak in and get a slice."
They had 15 classic physique guys, 10 fitness girls, and 19 bodybuilding girls.
Wait a minute. My brother went out. I think he might went to a black zone. If Raheem Hamilton was here, tell Keith is on that Obama. But he'll get back to us. But folks, it was I did not get a chance to see the show, and that was the
yesterday. So they had a good time, and we're right across Disneyland, but can't do Disneyland because we got to stay off our feet.
yeah, because I think that was one thing I think that made the Orlando so popular when they had the Olympia, because you had Disney World, you had a place to go afterwards, especially if you had a family. Because like now with the Olympia back in Vegas, it's not much to do if you're somebody who you want to bring kids or something.
I don't gamble, so I shop.
I gamble every time I walk out my door. That's gambling to me. Every time I wake up in the morning, I'm rolling dice. That's gambling. But anyways, the subject is, as we now know, that this is a great show that they added. Like I said, do you think they need to add more shows for women's bodybuilding to the schedule? Like, if you're doing the Legion show, they don't have women's bodybuilding. And this is like qualification for next year's Olympia. And that same weekend as your Legion show, there's the Daytona. So that's also a women's physique. There's at least 4 or 5 shows that's Olympic qualification for next year for women's physique, and only one that is the Romanian Muscle Fest for next year. And that's, I think, that's really going a lot of competitors' way.
It's like, as a woman competitor, you justify, spending that kind of money to get to a show. Romania, I mean, come on, it's like for one spot, it'd be different, and me and Janine were talking about this, me can you turn that down? Me and Janine were talking about this yesterday. You know, okay, you either make an exemption, you either do two things. You either bring in more shows, or you bring back in the point system for women's bodybuilding. Those are the two options. Because we've been talking about this for a year now about the shows. So you either put in more shows, which is a promoter's type of deal, or you make a point system for the women so that more women can qualify to get into shows. And I think that'll be the logical thing to do, is make an exemption to the rule for women's bodybuilding to bring the point system back in so that you have more numbers, more bodies in women's bodybuilding. You don't have to do it for everything, but you have to do it to the sports. You have to do it to the classes which is probably the hardest classes, which is women's bodybuilding, because there's not enough shows. So as we sit here and talk in circles about how to promote more shows, how to get people more involved in shows, again, at the end of the day, until that happens, you're going to have to bring back in the point system. That's the only way this is going to work.
Yeah, because I think wheelchairs still have the point system, and fitness outside of women's bodybuilding is another division where they have fewer shows. So this was like also a qualification for them. You know, if you have like 30, 40, 50 bikini shows and about 100 men's open shows, and then all the others have all these shows, and then you're seeing women, like I said earlier, you're seeing more women go up to women's bodybuilding because like Ashley and Julia Wetzel and who else I'm trying to think of? A couple other girls who I saw. Ashley, yeah. There's a long list.
Andrea Shaw is another. She moved
Yeah.
up, and the rest is history.
Yeah.
And I think that's why, they're doing it, because, I mean, like, those numbers are so many numbers in women's physique that's a tough crowd to be in, I mean, to be honest, because there's so many numbers where all these women are now, because I forgot how many girls in this show just crossed over from women's physique.
Oops.
I think we just, there goes.
There was at least 3 or 4.
I think one lady actually, she was on the list for fitness. That was Andy Boneman. I saw her on the list for fitness originally, but then she's doing women's bodybuilding because the list, she was on the list for when it set the list, because I wanted to check to see if any more names jumped on it. Like there was a couple ladies who I mentioned said they were probably going to do the show, but they do the show. I thought some more Gumba, but you did get an extra woman. Her name was Andy. She was doing fitness. And she started out doing physique and figure, and then she did fitness for the last couple of years, and then she popped in. Yeah.
She didn't even know how to pose.
Yeah, because Tina said there was a girl who was
asking us how to pose.
Because
Why are you?
Tell.
So I think she was in fitness, and we were backstage, and she was asking us what poses we do. Why are you stepping on stage with a bodybuilder at a pro show when you don't even know how to pose? Like I don't even fucking know what happened. I was looking at people like, what the hell is going on? It was crazy. She's like, so we do this and this, and we have a routine. Like, I don't even know. I don't even know what happened. She left to get her actual number with the fitness girl, but she went on stage with the bodybuilders and didn't even know what poses to do. How does that happen? Like, I don't even understand. I don't know. I was confused.
Yeah, because like I said, I saw when I made my list and posted it, she was on the lineup with fitness. And then when I looked at the list for the who, like when I saw the pictures were posted, and I saw the list, I said, wait a minute. What?
Is she a bodybuilder or is she a fitness girl?
She was doing fitness. She started out in physique, but she was doing fitness the last couple of years. And
so why the hell was she on stage with bodybuilders?
I don't know. I can't,
because
we
like, so a front lat spread, and she's like, how do we do this? And I'm like, I'm looking at other girls like, what the hell is going on? Like, she doesn't even know the poses. I don't know. It was.
And the question is, like, Well, when y'all check in, because I know y'all you check-ins, you put in what division you're gonna be competing in, right?
Right. I mean,
All
that
right.
would be like me going in as bodybuilding and then going on with the bikini girls. Can you see that shit?
No, maybe the
Exactly.
wellness girls, but
Oh my god, it's crazy.
but I like I said, it was just I don't just like I said I saw her when she was on the list. I said, once she fitness and then she is I mean who somebody tell her, hey, you're in the wrong division. You need to be over here, or I mean. Because it's not like she's an amateur. She's paying a check or she's paying anything to compete. But that's what it is. I don't know why it's so easy to fool it. I mean, she looked more like some pictures I've seen of her. She looks more like she could be because she was doing physique before. I think she earned a pro card physique competitor, and then she switched over to fitness and been doing that the last 3 or 4 years or so. And I might reach out to her and see if she might interview an interview because I posted her with all the other girls who were doing fitness. But we have my man here, KL Wonder, aka the king of the OCB.
Hey, what's up, guys? How y'all doing?
Hey, well, but my man KL, he's watching the live of the the York tour York
Hey, you
tour
have to.
Yorton,
Yo,
Yorton
Cup,
Cup.
Yorton, yeah,
York Cup.
Yorton
Okay,
Cup,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. What Keith? Keith said something. We'll wait to get back. But and subject we're going about how we feel that it should be more opportunities for women's bodybuilding, especially with so few shows. Now, like I said again, this weekend there's at least two pro qualifiers for the Olympia for 2025 women's physique coming up in all the other divisions. And then there's I think also there's like two more after this, after the Olympia. And as people as fans of sport, what do we need to do? Who we need to talk to? What promoters we need to say, hey, why did you add that division to your show? Since like I said again, you're gonna have a lot of competitors who jumping over because they feel like they have a better opportunity in this division than in women's physique. Gentlemen, hello.
I
Well,
ain't got
well,
nothing to
well,
say.
well. For me, it's just that bear in mind they had 4 shows the beginning of the year with the original schedule that they yanked all of a sudden. Now they replaced those 2 of them with the Europa Pro and the Titans, but still, I mean, if you're going to commit to doing a show, why pull it at the very last minute?
Mm-hmm.
I
Because there
mean,
was
so I mean, so that hurts right there because that's if both of those are going to be pro qualifiers, then if both if those other 2 shows were going to be pro qualifiers, it's 2 more girls that could have been at the Olympia. So
mm,
I mean, if you're going to do that, but I think another thing is fans have got to start going to shows, and they have to start putting their money where their mouth is. They can't go going for live streaming or stuff like that for free, and people need to stop posting the pay-per-view webcasts for free. People need to be putting their money where their mouth is. They need to start either buying the webcasts or they need to start actually going to the shows because the promoters, that's what they're looking at, profit. That's what it's all about for them. This is
yeah.
not a charity. They're trying to recoup some of the expenses they have. Because geez, how much is it to have a division in a show? It's like thousands of dollars just to
It's
have the division at the show.
Yeah,
So
25,000 for the sanction fee, and then you got to think about another 20,000 to put for the prize money,
right,
and then all the other stuff like hair, makeup, everything else that comes involved with it. Tanning. You know, yeah, you have to. Yeah, I can say about the profit thing. Yeah, I
Mm.
understand that, but still, you know, the big problem is a lot of people can't afford to go all the way to like I would love to have gone to Anaheim and saw Tina. And there was like I said, there's a lot of ladies who was at that show who I did interviews with. I would love to saw them live, but that's the thing is not a lot of people have that deep pockets. And
Did
then mm,
did you see that? Did you see the show? That you
no,
still had problems of looking at it?
yeah, Yeah, I don't know what was
So
going on. Say at one point it was some kind of streaming service. I think it was like through NBC sports, some like
yeah,
streaming service. And then I tried to see what. So like when I tried to join on, I said, well, just have $1 or something. Where they were saying like that was going to be like the down payment, and then I would watch the show. But then my somehow the thing wouldn't set my bank card, and then I don't know what was going on with it. I was talking with Nancy Lewis. She said the same thing with her, where and I think some couple of people. I think Eunice. Remember, I went on live that later that afternoon. Eunice even mentioned she was having problems. I don't know. Maybe it was something.
yeah,
Maybe it might have been for that area because sometimes I don't know. I felt like maybe because when let's say Janine told me that she was having problems, I thought maybe they're trying to black it out because just how when you have a football game, you black it out in the area where the game is played in. Depending, especially as the home team. But then you can watch it someplace else, like, some kind of a, I think I think sometimes it's like you can watch it on your like something, but but whatever it was, I just couldn't get on. I took a step back, saying, well, maybe it's just something. I tried another card. I got I have like a Cash App card, and I try to see
yeah.
if I think I had $1 left on there because last time I used for something, but then it told me it was I didn't have enough funds left. I said, dang it, I still had $1 left on there. Must have bought something with it, and it was like a lot of. I just gave up. I mean, if I had money in my account, it's not like I wasn't broke. I know it's about the end of the month. It's not about the end of the month. When you live on Social Security, you gotta save every dollar you can. And I don't know. It was just whatever happened, whatever it was. Yeah, yeah,
Mm. Well, I see my show. I paid for
yeah. You paid for you
I
watch the
paid
show.
for it. Yeah,
Yeah,
I paid. I mean, it was cool. I mean, I was on the live, and and people came on you, and like there was some OCB competitors was watching it with me and stuff. So
hmm,
I
yeah,
watched like I missed the women's physique, and then somebody was another OCB competitor. They was nice enough to like send me like the video and the picture, and like I watched the thing. I watched that series till the bikini because it's a lot of them, man. It's a lot of these women. Like it's like different classes, like A, B, C, D, or something like that. And some of it, I just fell asleep. I didn't even care who won. But I know some chick won. Some girl won. But after a while, I was like, yo, this is a lot, man. Because
yeah.
I like even when I was on the live, like it ain't too many people that came on. I think your girl came on, Eunice, but it was bad rap. It's either those two, and then it had an intermission, and then I came back on. I came back on with the live, but it was like it's just so many of them. Like it's so many of them. It's like after a while, I just fell asleep. It put me to sleep. And then when I woke up, I seen somebody won. It was posted on our Instagram.
Yeah, most like I said, with that's like so like they do when you do like ABC like that. That's usually in the amateurs because they usually have
Yeah,
they have those kind of classes. Like with the amateurs, it's like with exception of women's bodybuilding, men's physique, and all that, they have weight classes. Physique, bikini, wellness, those divisions have those letter classes A, B, C, and D. They don't have weight classes like they have in the other divisions.
yeah,
But yeah, like I said, it was pretty cool. I watched a little bit of it. I was trying to watch, the Titan show, but like I said
yeah,
again, it was I don't know what was going on with their pay per view. I mean, if Wing Strength promoted that show, it wasn't sponsors behind it. It should have went with the same company that does Wings of Strengths. I mean, that's not that hard for me to get on because I'm a member and I could just pop on and boom. With some of the others I can get on easily. I've watched like
hmm
quite a few pay per views the last few months. I watched Triple O, I watched the Vancouver, watched New York, Even watch some of Alina's classic and also the Europa Pro. You know, I think did I watch the Imperial? I think we can. I think Art, you told me that the Imperial because they weren't accepting money as to be euros or something. Well, somebody told me that. Was it you?
What was that?
It was the Imperial. I think somebody told me. Was it you or somebody told me that the Imperial was like they weren't accepting money or something. American money was euros or something.
That wasn't me.
I must have been. I think it might have been might have been David. David might have told me. I remember somebody mentioned to me, like saying there was some issue with the Imperial because you couldn't use American money or something, whatever. But the thing is, yeah, I know when you mentioned Jeremy, how how the whole thing, how people like to live stream some of these shows when they're there, because sometimes, especially when you're a family member, you want to support your family member, or sometimes you have people that might want to watch a show and may not want to pay the cost of it. I understand, it's like when you go to like you go to like a club, you want to get in for free, you got a hookup. I used to go to this club down the street where I used to work at. Sometimes the guy knew my face. If I came in before happy hour where I get him free, he said, "Yo, you're cool. You can come on in. You always come in here and hanging out." But the thing is, I think if the money was better especially for these shows where and like Keith said, they had a lot of people there, and I did see some at one point where they did like pan. They put it into the stories for muscle contest. They pan, and it was a deep crowd because this was, I think, being this was the last show for women's bodybuilding, fitness, and also men's classic. A lot of competitors want to jump on, maybe get the opportunity to get to Olympia because you know what, you don't want to sit and wait the next year. You want to make it for this show because this is a big show. It's the 60th anniversary of the Olympia.
So Heather Hunter, like she that's her
Not
name, right?
not Heather, another porn star. Wait, you call her?
What's her name? What's her name?
It's
What's
it's Hunter Henderson.
okay, Hunter.
Hunter Henderson. Not it's not. You you call her. You
Okay,
call her like
Hunter Heather.
yeah, Hunter Henderson. Now you call her
Hunter
Hunter. She's
Hunter
not a porn
Henderson.
star.
Henderson.
I know
Yeah,
she.
my bad.
I know what you're thinking about. And like I said, Hunter, I think she was one of the youngest competitors at the show because I think she's not even
Yeah,
30 yet. Because I think when she turned pro,
yeah.
she was like 25, and she competed the same year she turned pro. She did her first show, got a pro card. That was in Anaheim, and then she did her second show. That was the USA's. A couple months later, and you got a pro card. Actually did a regional first, which qualified for the USA's, and then she took second to Mona at the Tampa Bay in 2021. And after that, there was talk about maybe she might get invited to the Rising Phoenix, or she, maybe do another show. But some stuff with her happened, and she disappeared. And like I said, she's impressive. I mean, I follow her on social media. I posted, congratulations, and she liked that. I mean, she has great potential. How's she going to do at the Olympia? Well, I could say honestly, I think she could be a top 10.
Is she a bodybuilder division? Is she in body?
That's what was at the show. What other division I'm talking about?
Oh,
Get get
okay. Oh,
get on board,
it
brother. Get
was
on board.
just I didn't watch the show. I just seen your
But
post.
I've been
That was
talking about
it.
this show.
I didn't.
Yeah, but no, wait a minute. I've been talking about this show. I've been talking about this. This is what I tell you. Yeah, I try to teach you some stuff. But no, I've been on to talk about the show for the past few weeks. Okay, I once you got in
I
your
ain't got
mind
nothing to say.
about Heather Hunter, I know you got you because, but she, like I said, she's impressive. I mean, like I said, she's still young, not even 30 yet. I don't think she's 30, and she does a lot. She was doing a lot of powerlifting for a good while, and she
Yeah,
did,
I know.
yeah, and she did pretty good at Chicago. Placing second to Sherry. Now, if Sherry has won Portugal, I think Hunter would have won Chicago. Anybody agrees? Okay, here.
Whatever you say.
Have your mind. Yeah, that's it. We got here my man Big Keith. He's back.
It's in the mountains.
Yeah, yeah.
In the desert.
Because he's right now he's driving to Nevada. It's what show is that in Nevada? Carson
Legion
City.
Sports Fest. Legion Sports Fest.
I think.
2,500 athletes.
Yeah, I saw the yes. They hadn't put out. I think they hadn't put out the list yet. I think they might put it out later this evening, and I will post it. I will mention my man Big Keith. Uh, I might try to watch it. You know, like I said again, I'm going to try to watch it. I know they have like I think they have the amateurs that Saturday. I think the pros Sunday.
So I compete pros compete Saturday and Sunday. It's all fucked up. I compete open bodybuilding Saturday, masters Sunday.
Oh, okay. Well, I know
So,
usually do the masters.
That's a lot.
Yeah, usually I do the masters first, so get that out of the way and do the
that's what
open
I thought.
last.
That's what I thought. So it's gonna be a long weekend.
Oh, yeah, brother, you be tired. I mean, you know, lucky you got your woman with you. You hold your hand. Yeah.
Hey, just so you know, the kids and I will not be around him for most of Saturday and Sunday because he's gonna be a fucking crab ass. So we'll cook it. We'll warm his food up, make sure he's good, tuck him into bed, and get the fuck out. That's how that shit's rolling.
Well, wait a minute. What he was there for you? What was there for you? And you come on, that's your man. That's your man. That's your baby daddies. Come on. What?
Hey,
Come on.
I'm already ready. I'm ahead of schedule, so I ain't tripping.
Yeah. Forget her. Forget her. We
That
got
don't
you
mean I'm
back,
not
brother.
grabby. You ain't lying. That don't mean I'm not grabby.
You can't be a little bitchy.
Ain't marriage grand?
That's why I'm still single.
It ain't fun being single all the time. I ain't gonna lie.
Well,
But
I had my woman. I call her Ma. She was my woman. I loved her. I just got out and did things I needed to do as a man. Came back to her. That was my woman. Yeah. Sometimes it's itch you got to scratch. You can't scratch it all the time. So find somebody to scratch it for you. There's kids out there got to be careful. But yeah, like I said, I was gonna say I wish I could have watched the show, the live stream. I think I was really excited to see the show, and I'm glad the guy liked the fact that he had a good amount of ladies. This was, I think, the most women outside of the Olympia for any women's bodybuilding show. I mean, and that's the thing is the numbers. It's important because that's why Jack Tony's kicked out Wayne Physique from his show for next year. I think like I was thought maybe more people would jump on the Anita show in Europa, but still it was a good number compared to some of the others. Um, I think like the media show, they could if you get somebody to probably put up the sanction fees and prize money, they could add women's bodybuilding because that show's been around for a long time. It's a big show. It said they got a better sports festival than the Arnold Schwarzenegger Classic.
Yeah, the Legion show. It'll be interesting to see next year if they add women's bodybuilding because, again, there's 2,500 athletes going to be at this show total. So I understand it's a big show. It's like kind of like the Arnold, but a smaller version. So it'll be interesting if they bring it in next year. It'd be cool because they got everything but women's bodybuilding in it.
Yeah, that thing is just gotta find somebody who wants to. I don't know. Jake, he's stretched out. He has the Olympia. He's doing this show, the Rising Phoenix, everything else. If there was another person that came in and maybe step up, because I tell this to guys out there, I know you guys out there are fans of the division, and you wish there was more shows, especially the closer to you, because other than shows like New York and Tampa, now you have the Triple O Dynasty. It's crazy that they're going to do the Masters Olympia all the way in Japan, and shows like the Tampa. I'm hoping next year Texas Pro will add women's bodybuilding. Just need somebody who wants to put up the money for the sanction fees and the prize money and everything else. If you can get a group of people, like one person I often talk about this is like Eunice. She does bad rap, and she says she would love right now bad rap just starting up. They really getting a little a little steam up. She'd love to maybe in the future, because she was one of the promoters for Triple O Dynasty, maybe do another show because she's right there in Texas. And I was talking about how Texas do need women's bodybuilding shows there. There was going to be one 2 years ago, but then I don't know what happened with that. It was on the list at one point, and then it was gone. You know, and you have bodybuilders in Texas like Layla's there, Ashley's there. When she was still competing,
I still didn't know
Ashley
much.
Hadley.
I mean, that's, again, it's one of those things where I don't know, like, somebody like Tamer can do it because he has 200 and something shows, a year. He has that's what his bragging point was during this show. They put on the most shows and produced the most amateur pro-am shows in the country. So he can do that, again, when you've seen the numbers that he produced this show for a first time show, I mean, why wouldn't you? You take care of the athletes. They're, they got their own room backstage, and and then he does the California Pro, and I've done that show a few times, where we have our own private area. They give us gift cards to Cheesecake Factory, all kinds of shit. So, it's one of those things where when you take care of athletes, athletes are wanting to come to your show, and again, I just think a lot of girls in particular didn't know too much about this show because it's the first time show, and on top of that, they didn't know. I mean, remember last week before we talked, because we're like, Hunter doesn't know what she's talking about. It's not an Olympia qualifier, and they made it an Olympia qualifier. So here's the thing, what I say about that. How interesting is this? Remember me, you, and Art all were on the show 2 or 3 weeks ago saying, hey, this is not a fucking Olympic qualifier. I don't know who told Hunter that. And then all of a sudden it becomes an Olympic qualifier. So that goes to tell you that between Jake and Jim Mannion, that they can do whatever the hell they want to do. Because remember that we all said the cutoff date was September 14th. So that goes to tell you that they can do whatever they want to do. So if they wanted to put the point system back in, they could put the point system back in, right?
Yeah.
If you can make this a last chance qualifier for the classic physique, fitness, and women's bodybuilding, you can do whatever the hell you want. Especially when you're the money behind the machine.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, at one point, Jake was hanging out with them at the Pittsburgh Pro this year. And, there was only 2 competitors to that show. I interviewed one of them, Natalie Way Wolf. She was pretty good. And they announced they're going to make themselves their own expo, the Pittsburgh Pro. They announced that. I think Tyler announced it at the show. And this is why I'm saying this. If Jake's going to, even though Jake, he runs the Olympia, if Jake's hanging out with Jim Mannion, he knows that he has to say, you know what, let's add women's bodybuilding to this show. Because there's a lot of women around the Pittsburgh area that will probably love to go to a show like that. That's closer for them. Pittsburgh, New York. You got women in Delaware. I know a lady who competes. She's in Chicago. That'd be a show closer to her. And like with Gary Hewitt, he has his shows. He has all those 500,000 shows, like the amateur shows he got, like the Masters World Championships, the North Americans. You were there. I mean, that's where the seat of power is at. It's Pittsburgh. So why not?
And here's the thing, George. Here's the thing that bugs me the most about this whole situation. I think the prize money for this show was $1,000. $1,000, 500, maybe 250. Okay. So as a human being, I don't give a shit if you're male or female. What's going to justify me spending, excess amount of dollars? I mean, here's a prime example. So my resort for Tina's show, this is a $7,000 trip. Between her show, competing, I mean, we just checked out of our hotel in California. That was what, $1,300? $1,300. Now we're headed to Reno, which my prize money is different, but that's, again, that's, this is like a $7,000 trip. So even if she would have won and qualified for the Olympia, she's only winning $1,000. You know what I'm saying? So what I'm saying is, for women to sit here and say, well, Romania or, Portugal or any of those shows in Europe, how do you justify spending that kind of money? Again, that's like fucking going to Vegas and saying, hopefully I hit get on the roll at the crap table. Shit, you know what I mean? You know, and not lose all my damn money. You know, that's why I don't gamble. Again, at the end of the day, if it's something that if Tina wanted to do, I'd like bet. But it's not, you know, I mean, like again, Lori was what she told. You know, I seen Lori. She was at this show. She was what 12, 12. You know, and she was at Master Olympia. She was 10. And trust me, she wasn't very happy at this show about her placing. But again, at the end of the day, what did she say last year at the Master Olympia? She spent 30 grand. It's like, how do you justify that? You know, how do you justify going to Romania, Portugal, any of those shows, and spending at least? And we're in the States. We live in Kansas, and we're going just to California, and it costs us that much. Mind you, we have a family. You know, our kids are with us and things like that.
In that show that was not
And Tina was the only competitor from the only competitor from Janine was Florida. Tina was from the Midwest. Other than that, most of the girls from Canada or Canada or from West Coast. So, you know,
Yeah.
I mean, because it was more convenient for them. You know, so it's expensive.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because like I said, Hunter lives in Vegas because that's where she lives and works out. I know Monica Maria Vegas, who also interviewed. She lives in somewhere in California. Marilyn Yee lives in California. She lives in San Diego. Lori, she lives in California. Most of it, yeah, with exception, I think actually Eva Dunbar. She's from Canada, but she does live because I interviewed her a while back, who's one of her clients. She does live around that area. I think she lives in Washington State. Was it Oregon? One of them. And then she mentioned to me. I thought that one person who thought that would probably do a show was Jessica Martin. She lives in Washington State. This was close to her, on the West Coast to do the show.
Oh, Art popped off. I wanted to ask, did he see the pictures of the show?
Yeah, I think he says, going head out, has to finish some stuff. Right? Okay, he has to go to work. So, we appreciate him coming through. Thank you, Art. KL said he'll be back later. But like I said, but it's just that like I said, that works for a lot of competitors out in the West to have a show closer to them. Because I've talked to some ladies today, they love to have a show closer to them, so they don't have to go all the way to like Tampa, to Chicago, to New York, or whatever shows that's in the lineup, or going all the way to Portugal or to Spain or
I
to
mean,
the
you can put
UK.
shows in. You can put women bodybuilding shows in Florida, Texas, Arizona. I know Rose is there. You know, because those are all good places that people want to travel to anyway. Like again, like I said, if you would have seen the number of people that was at this show, it was huge, and it was the support that they gave for the women bodybuilders. And Tamer did a very good job at that. I will give him that. It was an amazing turnout. It was jam packed, standing room only. And again, it's a pro-am, I get it. But again, at the end of the day, when you got just women's bodybuilding, and that's the way it should be. It should be like women's bodybuilding, maybe, classic physique and the fitness, and that was a good, that was, because again, like I said, prejudging started at 11, they were done by 12:30, finals started at 3, they were done by 6, and now you can carry out your day, have a good time, go to dinner with your family and friends or whatever the case may be. But again, at the end of the day, it was a great show. So you know, I don't know what Tina's plans are. I won't speak for her, but I guarantee you, next year this will be a bigger show for women's bodybuilding.
Yeah,
I
I
know that.
honestly, yeah, honestly, because the fact is, I think it might pick up the prize money. Then also, for the hell of it, that's how it is. They'll probably add one more division. Either I'm going to say this: either men's, men's physique, or maybe you might try to add wellness.
Yeah.
That's because the promoters pay for, like, Wolfpack will still promote that division for next year. They put up with part of the prize money, so they're gonna walk away with they don't it was like, you think about the promoter benefits. Okay, I'll put up $1,000 for wellness division, and the promoters like Wolfpack said, well, we'll kick in another $2,000 or $3,000 to that. So
And the crazy thing, George, is for this show not to be promoted very well. I mean, I was just absolutely floored by the number of people that were there. I mean, absolutely floored. And so there's, again, I guarantee if more girls would have probably knew that the show was going to be an Olympia qualifier for one for this year, and knew more about it because it's a first year show, a lot of more people would have jumped in. Like Boswell, like you said, what would you have rather jump with? I mean, if you had to ask Boswell, and I'd probably guarantee you that say, hey, would you rather fucking have taken a trip to the UK or stayed in the States and competed in California? She would have said California. But again, like I said to people, they don't understand when you do these shows like she's done. I think she's had 2 or 3 shows this year. Your body gets worn out. Especially when she really hasn't hit her peak for any of these shows, and try to dial it in one more time. Again, that's when we have to start talking about health, and rest and things like that, and just restart all over again. But as I say that, if you have the point system, then it gives girls opportunity like Boswell and some of these other girls who are placing second and third to jump in the show and to possibly qualify for Olympia. Then the numbers go up, and truly I think that's the only way for the next couple years that this is going to work. Because again, George, how many times have we said, you know, these people need to get on board and drop money into this, that, and other, blah 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 blah, this, that, and other. Well, that's fine and dandy, but until that happens, you can make the other aspect of it come to fruition by saying, okay, we understand the numbers are down for women's bodybuilding, so we're going to do a point system just for women's bodybuilding because we got to get those numbers up. When those numbers go back up, you take the point system out, and hopefully by then you will have more shows and people putting their money where their mouth is. But until then, you got to have the point system for the women.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because like I say, especially as they also mentioned, fitness also has not as many competitors compared to women's bodybuilding. Because it's one of the toughest divisions because you got to do that jump around flipping. That's tough.
Yeah.
And wheelchair has it already because there's not many wheelchair competitors. I think at the Roper show, I think we only had maybe 2 or 3 wheelchair competitors. And that show I think was like not only Charlotte Boswell was there. Jeannie Welker, she also was there. She lives in California, so you went all out of your way. If you knew about the show, you wouldn't have gone out of your way. We probably would have had 20 women or more for the show because this is like I said, everybody wants to jump on and say, I want to get my last opportunity for the big qualification.
Well,
So
think about it though. You had 19 girls. 19. That's a lot of girls. You had 19 girls at this show.
mhm.
So that's the biggest show this year as far as women's bodybuilding is concerned, right?
Outside Olympia, yeah.
19 girls. I mean, so hell, again, hey, the family, your friends. I know Hunter and her team drove from Vegas. They didn't fly, they drove. They got an Airbnb. She brought her dogs. They brought all their dogs and all that shit. It turned out well for her. I will say that Hunter, in my opinion, was a little off in the morning, but she came back drier and harder. And I really, and other people besides myself, and I understand I'm Tina's husband, thought that it was going to be a battle between those two, and it was. And again, it's like the whole saying is like comparing apples to oranges. What do you like? Tina has this hybrid. She's 5 inches, 4 inches taller than Hunter. Better conditioning. Hunter has bigger legs clearly. So there's all kinds of aspects that goes into judging. And so Tamer looked at Tina and said, he loves her look. Her upper body is massive. He says, you have the most prettiest look of all the girls on stage. I just want your legs bigger. And again, when you're a taller person like me for men's bodybuilding or her for women's bodybuilding, it takes time. But, Melanie, think about the turnaround, George. She went from not placing, and this that goes and tell you, and I will say this and I'll publicly say this shit. A good coach is hard to find. A good coach to get your ass in shape when you're willing to do all the things. So let's put it in perspective. When Tina first started competing in women's bodybuilding, Melanie was her coach. She never placed out. She was wing champion of the Wings Miss International. She never placed out the top 5 in any show she did. and she missed out on Olympia by 1 point. And she was Rookie of the Year. Then things happened. She went to a different coach, unfortunately, and stopped placing and doing well. 4 months, 5 months she's been with Melanie. And this is a turnaround. This is her new look. And everybody said it. I can't remember the photographer, the lady. You remember her name? I'm trying to tell George.
She used to compete.
Her and her husband do all the bodybuilding shows.
Annie Vecchio.
Anna.
Yes.
Annie, yeah, I met her. Yeah, Annie Vecchio. Yeah, Annie back in the day had an amazing body. She was just amazing.
That Tina, best she's ever seen her look. She has this unbelievable look. You know, I mean, look at that. I mean, seriously. I don't have to talk about it. You got a picture right in front of your face. That shit ain't Photoshop. You know?
No.
I mean, again, when we sitting there saying, what do we fucking want bodybuilding, the women's bodybuilding to look like?
Yeah. I think that should be the standard. But everybody's gonna have a different look. Judges are gonna go by who they think are the best look. It's just like I looked at Gabrielle, and she looked like in the midsection, she looked like she was a little bit holding the water. She wasn't as tight like she was at Triple O.
And you understand, Tina was 20 pounds heavier than she was last year. 20. And in shape though. A lot of those girls, not trying to take was not in shape. I mean, conditioning, like even Hunter's boyfriend came up to Tina and says, he's like, her conditioning was on point. He's like, man, he goes, you're a fucking monster. And so that, at the end of the day, we take it as, did she win? No. Did she place in top 5? Yes. Did she get better from last year? Absolutely. So we lean on that and get better for next year. But again, what I try to tell people at the end of the day is that coaching is very important to what you do. This is the best shape Tina's ever been in her entire life. As far even with Mel the first time, because she's 20 pounds heavier. This is the best shape I've ever been in. So coaching plays a huge factor in what we do as bodybuilders. And so it's one of those things where when people talk about this, I'm interested to see if they do that point system. I mean, because that, like, I can't say this enough. That's the only way this is going to work, is by having the point system right now. Because you're looking at these girls, and there's a lot of, I don't know who was the girl who was fit, Asian girl.
That was Marilyn Yee.
I like her look. She's in condition. Was a black girl who was in like the last call out. Unbelievable shape. I mean, not unbelievable shape, but got unbelievable lines, but just wasn't in shape. And you look at some of these girls like, man, if you just come in shape, Boswell, it's like, kind of remind me of Boswell. If you just come in shape, holy shit, it's wraps. But, like the Asian girl, she just didn't look like she wanted to be there. She just looked miserable. She's like, there's some things doing like, yeah, she just didn't look like she wanted to be there at all.
Yeah, like we say, he knows that we both interviewed before. That's Marilyn Yee. She took
before KL?
Both of us.
I've seen her in person before. I know what you're talking about. I know.
And the black lady talking about, that's Ursula Maru. I interviewed her. Great lady. I think, like I said, one lady who saw the picture said, yeah, she's kind of like Salika Gibbons. I think she'll probably do better next year if you can, just if she's coming a little tighter in the back. She's still a little bit soft in the glutes, and I think she can do better next year. Like Salika, how well she done after she made her debut last year, and then she pops up, and then she takes second to Michaela at the Atlanta show, and then I think she was number 6 at the Arizona Pro. I mean, it's just about, like I said, big bro, it's about time and who you're working with, and you got a good coach. And that's the thing. I mean, I was saying like this, Marilyn, look at this. Melody is Tina's Mick. She made her eat lightning and crap out thunder, and she said to her, you have a little shoulder on your shoulder, we fall. You hear that little angel on your shoulder, he said, like, get up, you son of a bitch.
Well, Melody, again, like, she came out, like, she drove we flew her out one time, and then she drove all the way from California to Kansas, which is like 24 hours, to stay with us and train us for about 2 weeks. And again, you have trainers who, I'll tell, and I'm a trainer who train people who steal people's money, and I find it unfortunate. And then you got people who know what the fuck they're doing, and like I said, I mean, I've had so many people look at even me getting ready for the show and it's like, holy shit, like you look crazy. But again, if people understand what we do is a science. It's not a guessing game. It's not, for my clients, people are like, well, why do you have a trainer? I mean, because you always want a subjective point of view when you don't want to control your own fucking destiny, because that's called self-sabotage. So you always want to have a coach. I do my own training, but Melanie does my supplementation. She does my diet. And it works. And now that she coached Tina the first time. She didn't coach me the first time around, and I was like,
Right. He again. He must have. Give him a second, folks. He'll come back on. But yeah, that's good that he and Melanie are working with Tina. It's good that you're working with Tina and brought in her best condition. Not since I think when she turned pro. And that's been at least 5 years ago, about 4 or 5
yeah,
years ago. Yeah, yeah, yeah. And these other ladies, I think some of them, like I think a couple made their debut. And they still need some work to be done. Others been competing for a long time and just maybe I don't know. Just sometimes it's a hit or miss with some competitors. But I definitely believe that that was a good lineup. Maybe, like I said again, Tina should be a little higher. I think she should have been at least second.
yeah.
You
It
know,
was, and I was, I know I'm the biased standpoint, but
yes,
again, at the end of the day, I had it between Hunter and her, and I knew it was going to be close, no matter what, because Hunter brings something as well to the table. She has mass. She brought her hamstrings and her glutes up, and she came in better for the night show. I mean, she did, So it's one of those things where I knew it was, and I just didn't understand it, when I was looking at it, like, how they move, because the Asian girl wasn't even in the first call out in the daytime. The Asian girl who was fifth, she wasn't even in the first call out. Janine was in the first call out, but she wasn't. Janine was not very happy at all. Let's just say that. But she wasn't. And again, it's a confirmation round where they rejudge and do shit like that. But from rumor had it that the girl who was in third was one of Tamer's clients. Let's just say that. And even Mel said that she was going to talk to Jake, because here's the thing: at the end of the day, if you have a conflict of interest in the show, you should not be judging your own competitor. I wouldn't, and don't get me wrong, if I'm a head judge too, you know, and I guess, I mean, they say head judges don't have a vote unless it's like a tiebreaker, but he's calling out the poses and all this other stuff. And one of the things that I was like sitting here, I'm like, wait a minute. I'm like, that can't. I mean, it's just the way the shit went down at nighttime, and everybody that was scratching their head, like, what just happened? I was like, I don't know. But again, for her to be back in the top five at any show, especially a show like this, we're not going to complain. We're just going to, keep our head down and keep grinding.
yeah. I was talking to somebody how they're saying how the show in Europe, where Tyler came in, he came in as like as a judge. They was wondering why some people placed where they were because there was some say there were some controversies about how that show went. Like I said, and it was funny that that same weekend of the Europa there was the Saint Antonio Pro, and you're thinking, would it have been easier for Tyler to do that show here than then going all the way to? I know because I think all the way out to UK, but I think because it's a big show, it's a
Yeah.
bigger show, and more divisions, in a new show. That's why he went. But I know some people told me the venue was kind of small, not a lot of room. It's they went a little fast. I mean, because I think was it the prejudging was at 5 their time, and then it was 10 minutes after that after the finals. And usually you rarely ever see a show that's like that short between prejudging and finals.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, this show, Prejudging got done at 12:30, 12:30, and then finals were at 3. And our hotel was like 3 minutes away. Most of the great thing about this show is it was at the Hilton, so most of the athletes were staying at the host hotel, which is inside the building. So
That's like, kind of like with the Orlando show, how it worked, how it was so close. Well, we have here. This is for Tina, and this is from her boyfriend, Raheem Hamilton. And he said to you, Tina, he said Tina should have won. That's from Raheem
Aw,
Hamilton. Oh, Raheem, he loves you, Tina.
thank you, buddy. Hey, look,
Yeah.
on the way home, well, I can't put my crown in anything, so see where it's at in the car.
Uh, that's nice.
Uh,
You should be proud of yourself. Like I said, truthfully, that was honestly so again, that was truthfully your best showing, and since you've been a pro.
yes.
And Melody, she really has, like I said again, she's your Nick to your Rock, you're Rocky. You know that, Tina, you're Rocky Balboa. Like, hey, yo,
Well,
Nick, yeah.
everybody kept telling me, you're so fucking big. Well, I mean, when I'm looking on stage at pictures and it's like, you have short, you have medium, and you have giant. And I'm like, holy shit, they're not kidding. I don't realize on stage how big my presence is. And a lot of people are just like, you finally brought your mass to match your height. And that's what I had to do. I've always brought conditioning. Conditioning, like I told Hunter's boyfriend, it's never been my problem. I can come in shredded as shit. But the problem is, if I don't bring the size, then I look stringy. And then I'm screwed. So I put on 20 pounds since the last time I was with Mel. So I was about 175, 180 on stage. Most of these girls were 150 and below. So if that gives you an idea about how big I have to be to look proportionate to the girls that are so much shorter than I am, that's 30 pounds. That's a lot. And
Mhm.
to try to put that on a 5'9" frame and keep the muscle and shrink in to be as, conditioned as I was huge for me. But, you know, it's like Tamer said, he was like, your upper body and your just physique is so powerful. He's like, your shoulders, your back is big as shit. And he's like, your waistline is small. And that was the other thing that was my advantage. I had the good X frame this show because my shoulders had gotten so much bigger and my legs had gotten bigger. But he's like, I just want your legs a little bit bigger. And they are bigger than they were, but they still need to be a little bit bigger. And I honestly feel like if we keep my upper body where I'm at, my waistline where it's at, and bring my leg sweeps out just a little bit, I think I will have a good chance of going into most of my shows and being very competitive. But
Yeah.
that's because of my frame. Once you have that frame filled out, you're fucking golden. But it's getting it filled out that's been so hard. You know what I mean? And it's hard.
Hmm.
But
Yeah.
Mel
Because like I
knows
said,
what she's doing.
yeah, because like I said, you're more taller than most of the competitors on this show. I think you were probably one of the tallest women at the show, being at 5'9", because most women are like maybe 5'4", 5'3". I think there was one lady. I
There
think
was a girl that was like 4'9". Okay, I'm like, please do not put us next to each
she's
other.
short blonde hair.
Yes,
Yeah, yeah. She made her debut at Vancouver this year, and I think she was number 6 out of the 5 women I think in that show. I mean, she used to be a power lifter, and then
yes, yeah,
she
that's
switched
her.
over. Yeah. Here we got here from a man, Stefan Prey. Stefan says, Miss Williams looks awesome. Thank you, brother. We
Thank
appreciate
you,
that. Also, this is for my man Stefan. Good luck on your show, Keith. And also, he says, safe travels. Thank you, brother.
thank
Appreciate
you.
that. Yeah. And yeah, because what now? We're not gonna put you to hold on this. We're gonna say, what's the plan for next year? What's the
So
plan?
I'm like, where I don't know. Here's my thing. I'm trying to decide: do I want to go in on an early show and compete to see where I'm at, and then if I don't make it that show, go on to another, or do I wait and put everything into one basket like I did this year and come in that way? I'm kind of like torn. I really want to do the New York Pro, and for some reason Keith's like, why do you want to do the New York Pro? Well, because no offense at all, the East Coast like big girls. And I was third at the New York Pro. I've always done well on the East Coast. So the West Coast, I mean, like I said, I was so grateful, like in that call out and being in the top five. Like, honestly, I called it my comeback. I called it my, I don't even know. It was one of those things where I didn't even, everybody wants to win a show, right? But I went into this with the mentality that if I come in the top five out of all these girls, is a victory for me because I've been out of the top five for 2.5 years now. And that puts me back in the limelight. It puts me back in the judge's eyes. And now I have an expectation and their expectation. So going into next year, this is full momentum. So my thinking was, let's do the New York Pro because it's one of the first shows and let's see where we're at. Fuck it. That's what I told Coach. She's like, whatever you want to do, we'll do. So Keith, for some strange reason, doesn't want me to do it, or doesn't seem to. But he's
Well,
funny
that's your man. That's your baby's daddy. He wants the best for you. But there's Tampa and Chicago. You've done those shows before.
Yes, and I've placed in both. I was fourth in Chicago and fifth in Tampa, and I had 27 girls in my Tampa when I placed fifth. And Chicago, I placed fourth, and there was, I think, 21.
Or there's the Linda show, which is Georgia's a little closer to Kansas,
Oh, is it?
and yeah, and they do also have the both those three shows have the over 40 class where it can get you Masters Olympic qualification.
I know. I, I'm still trying to tell myself I'm not a master yet.
Well, like I said, you're fine as wine and you get better with time. That's all I can say. You heard me there? You heard that? I want to say it clear here because he has had my girl Tina. I see. I like. I ain't mad at picture of you and Andrea. That gave me some ideas. But that one with him and with my girl, I can't let that go. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. We gotta do pictures together with me one of these days and show it
Hey,
to him.
listen, I could put a pillow over his head tonight when he sleeps, and when he wakes up, I'll say that's for George.
So, like I said, I think, like I said, you look great. You look amazing. I wish I could have watched the
Thank
live
you.
stream. I don't know what the hell was going on with them. I mean, I think Jeannie said she was having problems. Nancy Lou said she had problems. Eunice was telling she had problems. I don't know. Maybe it was just something because I usually use my computer when I watch the live streams. I use my phone too often
Can
because
I
I
ask a
want to.
silly question? Like,
Go ahead, ask a silly question.
what placement you was in this recent show?
Me,
Yeah.
I was fourth out of 18 or 19 girls.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's pretty good. Because you
That's
got to
not
think
too
about
bad.
it was a deep lineup. Because I think some women, like we were talking about earlier, how one woman we don't know how she's doing with bodybuilding, and she's not even she was on the list for
Fitness.
fitness. I mean, we're gonna, it's one thing if you do a figure, because their pose is just pretty much the same. It's just they cut out the physical part of it. But
Yeah, I don't know. She didn't know how to pose. It was the strangest thing ever. I don't even know what happened.
she must say, let me just jump over here and do this because because the girl who won it, she already got a qualification. That's Taylor. What's the face? They call her Little T. She's already qualified to live because she was third. I know Oksana is not competing this year because she's very very pregnant. Because
Very
she's not
pregnant.
competing. Yeah, very pregnant. Because I saw her when she was at the Vancouver Pro Show a while back. I said, dang, she's not going to compete. She's not going to defend her title. So that leaves open opportunity for fitness Miss Olympia for Missy's coming back, and maybe Taylor might be in the contender for it because I don't know if Whitney Jones can compete or not. And there's still Erica Deer. It's just I think right now with possibly I think Missy might get the title back depending on how well her leg holds up.
Yeah, she's phenomenal.
Yeah,
Mm.
yeah.
I'll tell you
So
what you won't do. You won't see my big 5'9" ass at 180 doing no flips on stage. I mean, that's a damn fact.
you want to see my 400 pound butt jumping up on the stage,
You
in a
want to
tight
see that
suit.
girl break her neck? That'd be me.
Yeah, but like I said, we're proud of you. You did pretty good. I
Thank
think,
you.
like I said, whatever situation was, it happens. Whichever show we do, which you do, we will support you. We're supporting your man. Um, I will say again, New York. You said you've done pretty well before. Also, Tampa and Chicago. Those are fillers. I don't know if you want to go back all the way to Arizona to do Triple O. That's way too early because I think that's in April.
Hey George, so do you think she wants to ask your opinion? Do you think that she's trying to contemplate whether she should apply for the Worlds again next year,
She should.
or or just try to focus on qualifying for the O?
Well, she can qualify, focus on qualify O, or focus on qualify for the Masters O, which can get you a little bit qualification. But I don't know if she want to go all the way to Japan to do it. You
Not
know, that's
Does
a.
refuse to be a master's right
There
now.
you go.
I told you, George, I refuse to be a master's right now.
I just hey I know. Hey, calm down, Biggin,
I,
calm down.
I know I'm at a master's age, but
Yes,
I
take a
am
deep
not.
breath. Breathe,
I'm not. I'm mentally
breathe.
not in a master's mind right
I know. This,
now.
but
Listen, George. I think what I love about myself the most, not only am I stubborn, but
yes,
I
Yes.
like the challenge of being with these girls that are younger than me and knowing that I can be competitive. And this show told me that I can still, I mean, I'm 46 and I'm like going in and placing fourth. I was like, this still tells me that I can be competitive in the open. And the thing about it is, I haven't hit my peak yet of where my potential is with my body. And once I do that, and I'm not reaching that goal, then I feel like it's time for me to go to masters. But until then, I don't think I'm there. Does that make sense?
I understand.
If I was peaking where, this is the biggest my legs are going to get, this is the best my physique's going to be, and I'm still not winning a show, or I'm still not, I'm not out, I'm out of the top five now, then it's time for me to go to masters. But I feel like until then,
She's gonna be in Japan with me anyway, so
Yeah. Well, it'd be great to go together as a couple, but I
I'll go
understand. I
support. I'll
understand.
go support him if
I
it takes.
support. I understand. I respect your situation, but like I said, we're hearing from my man Raheem. Oh no, he shit talking, Keith. He shit talking. Says, I know if the tire was there, she would have taken first place. Oh my God.
Oh,
oh
Oh
Jesus.
my
Well, she's
God.
got to fucking get.
Hey, have you heard that saying? If was a fifth, we all be drunk.
I
Hey, and we're still waiting for that black what Russian bear. Smart ass.
I would say like this. I'm surprised she did.
What happened to her in the Rising Phoenix? What happened to her to any show this year?
I'm surprised she didn't do knowing this. No, she's right there with Jake. Excuse me, I gotta say his name. Yo, Jake. I want that money. I want that gun. I can't help it. It's ingrained in me now. And knowing that she's close to him, I'm so surprised she didn't try to jump on this show. I'm most definitely surprised because
Because she's not in shape and she's just inconsistent. Raheem, I keep trying to tell you that for a year now. Raheem,
we all know what get Raheem's attention. These that's what gets.
the buoys,
Yeah,
the
that's
buoys.
all. That's right. Raheem wants to go he wants to go practicing his speed bag on her. Do.
It's like, remember Liar Liar? I mean, I want to suck him. I mean, I want to punch him.
I,
Mama!
I want to like.
Jim Carrey, remember Liar Liar?
That's a classic.
Like,
I remember.
everybody's so nice to me in the building. I wonder why.
Yeah, you got big kids. Cover your eyes, kids. You ain't saying bad words. So, cover your ears. But yeah, but like I said, maybe next year, if this still be an end of the year pro qualifier, I think you will see more women getting ready for the show. Especially a lot of ladies like take more time to get ready for a show.
What did Tamer say to you at the show? What did he say about because of the turnout?
Oh, he said it was such a great turnout. We will have women's bodybuilding back next year.
Yeah,
He said he thought that the competition was great and the showing was great. So he was very happy.
yeah. I think you're going to see a lot more. Especially, I keep talking to ladies, like some ladies I know and tell me, say, George, I've been wanting to find. I want to do a show in the West, and it'd be great. Now you have the Triple O Dynasty coming up next year. Now you have this show. You know, the
You know what?
Rise Phoenix.
You know what would be another good place for a show? San Diego.
Yeah, that was good. You just
Because they
got to
have
get.
some competitors out there.
Yeah, because I know Mary Yee, that's where she's from. A couple of ladies I also follow live in San Diego. You know,
Yeah.
that be, you know, that I think they need, yeah, when bodybuilding need to come back to California, where
Yeah.
really we had a lot of success. We got here from my man Raheem, he says that she's doing a surprise attack, Keith. Oh my God.
But
Well, the surprise got to be in 2025, buddy, because it's all over with now.
Maybe 2026.
Yeah, exactly.
What's surprise in 2026, Raheem? I mean,
Hey,
realistically,
hey, Raheem, you need to go back and listen to that song by George Michael. You gotta have faith. You gotta have faith. The faith, the faith. I
we like, yeah, he just, you know, I think he's more like, you know, the other Wham song is everything she wants, you know. Tell me, tell me, tell me,
hey,
tell me, tell me.
who's the guy that says keep hope alive? That's Raheem. Keep hope alive.
That's Jesse Jackson.
Keep hope alive.
Hope is dead. You put hope to sleep. I mean, brother, I know you're a fan of hers. I know she excites you, but she, as my man keeps saying, she's inconsistent.
for headphones.
She should just fully just retire from bodybuilding and just do modeling and do dog competitions. If
Yeah.
she's not as committed to the sport like some of these ladies are, like Tina, like Lori, like Janine, and some of the most of those ladies, and some of those ladies, like I say, who I've interviewed and did a show and ladies that I would, you know, say who have that potential,
Your back
she needs to
somewhere.
step away. Here we got here from my man Raheem. He says this. He says, New York City. So what? Who cares about New York? New York City, New York City. So, but like I
Gotta go
said,
through Ashley Jones for that title now, buddy.
ooh, ooh, she
Can
might
you say
take third.
can you say buzz saw?
She might take if she takes third. She don't need to do any more shows.
Don't touch Ashley when we go last year, this year.
Yeah, this
What'd you
year.
say?
If Ashley takes third, she don't have to worry about her because you know
Yeah.
I yeah. Depending on how Alcyone looks, if she can maintain that level she had when she won the show last year, took third last year, Ashley might try to get third spot. She's third spot. She don't worry about that. But maybe do New York or do maybe Jake might create another show. You know, it's all depending. You know, I like I said again, wish more promoters would give women's bodybuilding an opportunity to, you know, because like I said, you're seeing more women moving up. I think, like I said, Melissa Tight might be coming back next year. I think I seen Emily Schubert. She didn't compete this year, so she might try to compete in physique or women's bodybuilding. Um, you know, I remember I interviewed a young lady. From Great Britain. Her name is Ramona Scottson, and Ramona was at Chicago and at Chicago, and she's thinking about making the switch. I'll send you a link. I'll send you her link of her. You can check her out. You know, and she's thinking about making a switch to women's bodybuilding, and she has those aesthetics. She good size, good width. I think she would do good in the division, and that's why I think that's why more promoters and maybe if some sponsors step up and like I said, you know, put up the sanction fees and the prize money, and you know, and just people in general want to. If you, like I said, you had a good this show, especially for a show that way where it was put together maybe next to the last minute, had that strong of a lineup.
I mean, think
I
about it.
mean,
I mean, think about what we're actually talking about. I think the biggest prize money for any show this year was what? Maybe 3 grand, maybe
outside the Rising Phoenix, yeah, at least
3 grand.
three
How
to five
fast
thousand.
are we talking about? Well, maybe 3,005, $4,500. Really? That's what we're talking about. $4,500 in prize money. And again, I don't know what the sanction fees are, whatever the case may be, but we're talking about $4,500 because only the top three place, you know, outside the worlds in Olympia. You know, so I'm like, really? You know, I'm like, you know, what are we talking about? $4,500? You know, I mean, come on. I mean,
Yeah, because with
Anybody can
the
do that.
yeah, because with the triple O coming, not the triple O, the Masters gonna be coming back. I think it's supposed to be $10,000 like it was last year. I don't know if it's gonna be ten
Yep.
thousand like it was last year, but it
Yep.
is. That's a good chunk of change because you think about it, that'd be, but still, by comparing with how Laura had to come over there, she spent more money than she didn't even crack the top five. I think top three got prize money, top five, can't remember. Um, Here we got here from uh, Raheem says, Keith, the 80s are over, bro. Stay in 2024. Hey, we grew up in the 80s, man. You don't understand
Hey,
that.
hey,
The
it's like that song. Raheem, back to life, back to reality, because your ass is far out of reality. Talking about your little big movie girl. I mean, she just could just hang it up and retire.
Yeah. Oh, also, rest in peace to the guy who created group Soul to Soul. He passed away this weekend.
Oh,
60 years
really?
old. Yeah, he wasn't not. He was the guy who helped create the group, not the singer and the guy Jazzy B. They was the guy who helped create the group. So he passed
Okay.
away. So yeah. Um, Also, Raheem, he says this says the Tide is the GOAT. The LeBron James of female. But what the hell?
Hey,
She's
we gonna
not.
we gonna we gonna ban you from the goddamn show.
She's not the GOAT. She's a natty GOAT, and she's not the LeBron James of women's bodybuilding. She's more like the Sam Cassell.
So that's about equal.
Sam Cassell.
What? Hey, LeBron James isn't goat either, so that's about equal.
Yeah. Everybody knows the GOAT is you go like this. You go, I'm like this. Michael Jordan,
Yep.
Bill Russell. I have to give it to Dr. J. Also, I'm gonna throw in. mm, I'm gonna say
I was like, Ray Jordan and
Kobe.
Magic Johnson before goddamn LeBron.
Yeah,
Well,
can't throw in Kobe.
Sam Cassell got a ring. So
He got a ring, but he wasn't that great of a basketball player. He got a ring because he was playing with Tim Duncan and David Robinson.
that
So
was his later years. I mean,
still, that's the way
that
he
was
got
his
a
later
ring.
years.
That still, come on, Sam Cassell, come
He
on,
ain't got to show off his eyes. He got a
come
Hey,
ring.
on, he's in, come on,
Raheem's
man, come
really
on, come
Raheem's
on.
really showing his age right now. He's like my damn uh, 21-year-old son. Us always arguing about the goat.
Was
Yeah,
the
Like,
same Camp Sam Cassell in San Antonio. I wasn't watching him like that in San Antonio. I remember him in Houston. He was a big
yeah.
factor in Houston.
That's Houston, but it was really everybody knew it was King Olajuwon's team, so he was just part of it, you know. But if you go like goats, like I remember I was watching this thing, this guy talking about some MMA fighters are greater than Ali and Mike Tyson. I said, what the hell? You can never put, Conor McGregor can never even be the top 100 with any of these guys. Ali,
no,
Sugar Ray Robinson, Sugar Ray Leonard, Mike Tyson, Jack
exactly.
Johnson. None of those guys could be even the top 100 with any of those men. Most definitely not the top 10. He just shit talking now. He just shit talking now. He says female bodybuilder needs to go on podcast shows like Club Shay Shay to push the sport. They need to watch the Ronnie
Hey,
Coleman interview
yeah, I
again.
seen
Yeah, I
that.
saw
I
that.
seen
Yeah,
some of that. That was
Yeah.
good. I seen
yeah,
some
that's
of
that's,
it.
that's pretty dope. Though in Italian as well. If I was Shannon, I say bring in. I would say Andrea. Most definitely, bring in Sarah. I would say who's really popular. I would say Sid Gillen. I mean, those would probably be the women you really want to talk to. Get all three of them there. That'd be
Yeah,
great.
because
I mean,
Shannon's a workout dude. He's kind of like The Rock. He loves working out. So,
yeah. Just got to get somebody to say, "Hey, Shannon, let's maybe Jake can reach out to him. Hey, he got the money and the connections." One more from he says this is for he says Sam Cassell played with the Rockets, not the Spurs. I thought he played for he did play for the Spurs. He
play
did
for the
play for the
Rockets.
Spurs.
He played
I
for
thought
the
he played for the Spurs.
Rockets. He played for
Oh,
the
I thought he played.
Rockets.
Oh, he played for,
Unless you're talking about later on in his career, he
later on his
played for the
career.
Rockets.
Like one of his
He
honey
played for
buns.
the Rockets.
Yeah, I thought so. Yes. Can't remember. Yeah, but yeah, I remember he played for the Rockets, but I'm sure he played for the Spurs yes, too. But can't remember. You know.
You talking about? Nah, forget it. I was about to say Avery Johnson.
Yeah.
But he was a good point guard too. Avery
Yeah, it was a
Johnson.
lot of good. I don't really watch basketball like that much like I used to. Like a lot of the guys I used to watch are gone, retired. I feel LeBron's probably he's the biggest. I think the last guy that really I recognize. Everybody else is long since retired.
I try to
Either
watch
coaching.
WNBA yesterday. I forgot who played the Sparks and the Supersonics. One of them teams. It was the playoffs.
Yeah,
What the
yeah.
name?
My nephew and my brother, they love football. It was like my brother's a big Carolina Panthers fan. My nephew, he loves I think we told you I think it's not it's I think it's Baltimore or no. Oh no, it's the Minnesota Vikings. He's a Vikings fan. He likes the Vikings. They need help. They need prayer.
Yeah.
So, gentlemen, we're not going to hold you on a man on the road. He's on peak week. He's eating. He's building the body.
It is.
I will.
Fish and rice. There you
Yeah,
go. Fish and
hey,
rice.
yeah, yeah. I was up at the house fishing rice. My brother, my older brother James, he loved my mom cook fish and rice. Since I get off of work, he'd be sitting at the table saying, "You little lazy, you know I
Oh,
don't
my
eat fish."
fucking nose.
Yeah,
A bug.
Oh.
just go. That's all you gotta do. Yeah, but we will say congratulations to Tina again. She did pretty go. Whichever show she does, we wish her best of luck. If it I'm like I said, I told Keith that I'm planning on maybe try to go to the show next year. Say you want to fly me out to Chicago. He told me about experience by the time first time he flies you out someplace.
I say whatever show we pick, we find them out to the show.
I don't know. I'll say
Not just the value in a couple drinks.
I don't drink like that, but I'll take the value. You put it into my milk like Mr. T.
Hit him one time. Get him.
Yeah,
Right? Look, give him that shot.
Say, hey fool, I'm on a plane. I'm on a plane.
All right,
But
fellas.
yeah,
Well, I'm out.
I'll be happy.
All right, Keith. See you later.
All right, appreciate
I'll
it, brother.
talk to you
Yeah,
guys
good
soon.
luck.
Thanks.
All right, good luck to you. Congratulations again, Tina. So that shot to my man, Mr. Big Keith Williams, competing this weekend at Interlegion. I will do a video on it. I have not seen the list yet. Once the list is out, I will post and talk about it. I will mention him because I know I don't do a lot for the guys, but I will mention because he's my big brother. I want to mention him, give him a shout out. I might check it out. I might watch it. But it says that they're going to do, I think they'll do the Open first and then they do the Masters the next day. To me, I don't know why they usually do the Masters first and then do the Open Pros last. They usually do that with some, but this promoter's different promoters than other promoters. So this is from a man. Once again, this is from Raheem. It says, Kia Supersonics are not a WNBA team. That it was a NBA team. So yeah, we know.
No, he talking about me. I said that I don't know. I think the Sparks or something like that. Nah, that one of them. I know Seattle Supersonics, but I forgot who they was playing last night. One of them. I'm not familiar with the WNBA teams like that.
Me either. And I don't really watch basketball that anyway. He said he's talking shit to me. He said, George, Google is your best friend, bro. whatever.
Behind the keyboard, he's an asshole.
Yeah, he'll come on here. Hey, Raheem, we got a few minutes. You want to come on here? You got enough? Hey, where's y'all, son? Come on. You got enough courage, son. Got a lot of words with the man. Come on here. Come on, son. Come on, son. Come on down. You got courage behind the keys, but that's a different situation when you're out here. But he has been on before. He's been on before. He likes to shit talk. But like I said, I was surprised that his girl didn't try to jump on the show, knowing that Jake promoted the show. This was a last minute Olympic qualification. She should have been getting ready, but you know what? She's not consistent. She probably wants to maybe wait to do a show for next year. She was invited to the Rising Phoenix. Jake stopped giving her an invite. That could have went to Tina or somebody else who deserved it, who really wanted to come. We had a lady who was qualified, but she got a pro card. She didn't want to do the show. We respect that because you feel like you don't want to be on stage with some of these top level competitors. So hope she does make her pro debut sometime maybe next year or the year after that. I think from what I see from the girl, I think she can do physique, not women's bodybuilding, but still get a pro card women's bodybuilding. But I'm gonna let you say a few words before we let you out.
No, I got an interview. Well, I'm gonna have an interview. Wait, 10 minutes from now. Yeah,
Who you
with
interviewing?
what's her name? Andrea. She's a power lifter and IFBB figure pro. Andrea Av- Avea Lobos. Avea Lobos.
Ah, 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 Latina. Uh-huh.
Yeah,
Hey, you doing pretty
yeah.
good. I seen you got a couple interviews coming
I
up.
got stood up this weekend, so yeah, I
Oh,
got stood up by two people. I was like, okay,
it happens. It happens. I
yeah,
mean, was it Friday had a view and we cut out right about we come up to the end of it and we just cut out. I don't know what happened. She hadn't even. I sent her a message to see what's going on. She never responded, but yeah, I said,
Oh, I didn't see to the end. I just see
yeah, we
you
cut out
guys
right.
was
Yeah, we just I don't know. All of a sudden we just blinked out. And I was trying. I sent a message said what's going on, and she didn't respond. I said, must be something else. Something must have happened. But
yeah,
that was with um Alana, Elena Russell. She
yeah,
says she's taking the year off, and I think she's planning on making a return next year. Maybe do a show later. So that'd be a pro qualifier for her. So maybe she might
yeah,
try to do North Americans or maybe nationals next year. So wish her best of luck.
yeah,
So shout out to my man Jeremy came through, aka Art of Female Muscle. Shout out to him. Shout out to my man Big Keith. Also Tina, congratulations. Like I said, Big Keith's gonna compete this weekend at the Legion Sports Festival. It's gonna be 2 days. The first day is gonna be the Open, and the next day is gonna be Masters. I probably just gonna watch. If I watch the Open. The stream is invisible. You know, and like I said, I'm gonna check it out. I'm gonna get so much support because that's my he come on here, he's
nah,
my big bro. He keeps me in the loop on stuff, and I really appreciate him. I will watch him. I don't really watch the banana handlers like that, but for him, I think I make an exception. But
yeah.
again, congratulations to Hunter Henderson, not Hunter, not Heather Hunter.
That's
I
how I
wish him
remember the name. I was trying to remember her name.
Yeah,
That's
yeah, yeah, yeah. That's the thing you got to work on, brother. Yeah, your memory. But it's like I said. I think she. I don't know how she's gonna do because this is it's almost about another 2 weeks to the Olympia because Olympia is gonna be. I think it's the what's the weekend for? It's the second. It's the middle of the week. It's the middle of the month.
right.
So, and it's a long weekend. So first you're going to have the amateur shows the first 2 days. Then you have a little press stuff in the middle,
Yeah,
and then
I'm gonna
yeah,
have
the
to get
next
ready. So
yeah,
well,
and the next 2 days
see
after
you
that
later.
is they're going to start women's bodybuilding. I don't know if I'm going to buy the whole stream or not. It's all depending. How my money looks by October because I'm still right now. My car, I'm gonna say forget about it. I'm doing maybe the guy fix it. He finally fixed it. That's good. I want to keep it up because my insurance. It helps my sister's insurance because it's cheaper on her insurance because it's under her name. But folks, I like shout out man Raheem for coming through. You know your shit talking. Stefan Pryor for coming through. Everybody who watched this video live stream, support Where's Bodybuilding. And also, this one say this: if you are someone out there and I mean this, I understand. If you're a fan of women's bodybuilding, you work in the corporate world, you can afford to put away a few $1,000 in a show. Get enough people to do it. Talk to these promoters. Sponsor a women's bodybuilding show, like the Legion, maybe next year. Show like the Texas Pro. Also, the same weekend is the Daytona Pro. That's in Florida. There's a lot of female bodybuilders in Florida that would love to do shows. Not just wait and do Tampa. Maybe do a show that'd be close to them. They wouldn't have to go all the way, to New York or to Atlanta or to Chicago or to other side of the ocean to do a show. Those are the spots that would love to see more women's bodybuilding shows. Especially there's a lot of them like people like Janine. Janine would probably love to do a show other than Tampa that's close to her. She would love to do that. A couple of ladies also I knew do live in Florida, like Miss Jennifer Rudolph, who just got a pro card. She would probably love to make a pro debut in a show, not in Florida. It don't have to be Tampa. There's a new show, the Florida Pro. they could add women's bodybuilding to the list. Just gotta find the right people, put up the money for the sanctioning fees and also the prize money, everything else. You know, they can really use that. This is from Raheem. I'm gonna say that Raheem says she's doing a surprise attack heat. Oh, that's the old one. Sorry. But thank you folks for coming through. I appreciate y'all support. Shout out again. Congratulations to Hunter Henderson on her first Olympic qualification. You know, she's still young. She still has a lot of potential. Congratulations to Tina doing so well. I think she will place higher. Second, probably third. But congratulations to all the other competitors at the Titans Grand Prix. Can't wait to see it next year. I hope to get a different streaming service or pay-per-view service for the one they use. I hope they do, because like I said, I really want to watch that show. You know, we're gonna probably have a stack loud next year. I think we're most definitely gonna see Rochelle Boswell. But I do appreciate y'all coming through. Give a shout out to everybody. He says shit talking builds character. No, it doesn't. It shows you how ignorant you are. It shows you that you don't know shit. So just shit talking, you don't know shit. So anyway, folks, I appreciate y'all for coming through. Thank you. You know, as you know, it's fall, start of fall. You know, summer is over. Or we have, I think we're gonna have one more MuscleTalk Monday for next week, and also I'm gonna do a special show on Sunday. I was inspired from a man Art when he had his show. He did it. He invited some ladies. I used to do it also on Sundays, but I like to do MuscleTalk Monday. I like the name. MuscleTalk Monday is better. So I'm going to do a live stream on Sunday. I just got to create the link. I'll post it on here afterwards. And if you want to come check it out, I don't have the name is going to be like a little discussion. I'm gonna have some ladies here. Hope we can make it. You know, we could talk about bodybuilding in general and just shoot the shit and really discuss some stuff that most definitely needs to be done for this sport. So I appreciate y'all for coming through. Shout outs to Raheem again. Shout out to my man KL the Wanderer. Shout out to my man Jeremy. Shout out to my big brother Keith and also his lovely wife Tina. And I wish her best of luck in the upcoming next year. And this is Bell George Page, aka the Emperor of Female Body Talk. Don't subscribe. I'm out.